Take a walk on the Borzoi Trail. This is a 0.56 mile trail. It's almost 0.57 now because I made some extensions. But anyway, it's all on our property. We call it the Borzoi Trail because the Borzoi are always with us when we go for a walk. It's August 28th. About noon. And it's 85 degrees and humid. We've got the two Borzoi with us. I'm using my GoPro Hero 8 Black, chest mounted, image stabilization. There will still be some shaking because of my walking, but it's our little sitting area. We'll come back to that area. But this is where the trail continues. And our original path crosses the creek right here, the stepping stones. But back in December, we had that fallen tree in that big windstorm. And I decided to make a bridge out of it. So let me show you. I cleared a walkway around the horseshoe bend of the creek. A couple small bridges here over the washes. Come on, girls. This is a red oak. It's about 130 years old. It was just uprooted. It was a live tree at the time it fell. So I decided, since it's going across the creek, I decided to cut some steps into it and just use it as a bridge. Put a handrail. Let's go. Promise, come. Okay, we're back on the main trail. Our property is about 5 3/4 acres, and the trail winds through just about every corner of the property with the exception of in front of the house and a little bit behind the house. This is a shagbark hickory tree here, and you could see all the peelings from the hickory nuts. When you walk through here, you get rained on because the squirrels sit up in the tree and peel the hickory nuts, the shells, to get to the nuts. You can see all that debris. They'll clear the whole tree. Eventually there'll be no more nuts. Coming up here is my favorite tree. This is a black cherry tree. It's 84 3/4 inches in circumference. It's about 160 years old, and it's about 75 feet tall. This tree, up until last year, was totally inundated with vines. Must have been about 30 vines going up to the top, tearing down the canopy. I cut them all, let them die, then pulled them down. So I believe I helped the tree thrive. I have a little solar light there, which is a beacon for the deer to come through here in the evening or at night. They could see in the dark anyway. They don't need my light. But it's always very peaceful down here. Hear birds, squirrels, chipmunks chirping. This here, we call it the Fox Run. It's a little extension off of the main trail, which goes down to the creek. This is near the southeast corner of our property. Everything on this side of the creek is our property. And the corner pin is right underneath that tree with the orange ribbon. The pin would be in the creek. We start heading north, back uphill. Oh, nice, promise. Have a trail cam right there. Keep an eye on things. What's going on down here? This is the eastern line. These two large American beech trees are on our property. This is near the eastern line. The line is about 10 feet beyond that. This tree right here, 150 years old. Approximately. There's a tree calculator online. You put in all the data and it tells you about how old these trees are. I've built bridges over the various washes so that we're walking after it rains or so. We're not walking in the mud. I tried to make the trail friendly no matter what weather it is. Coming up to another portion of the creek here. This is one of the areas where the great blue heron hangs out. Some good sized fish right in here. Some 3-inchers. You actually might be able to see them. I don't know if the camera could pick it up. But yeah, there's some nice sized fish in there. So they visit almost every day. Catch them on the trail cams. This area straight ahead we call Anotak Park. Just a clearing, an area I cleared out. It's a bench I made out of some beech wood. And the creek bends around. Back on the main trail, there's a trail cam right there, keeping an eye on what's going on in this area. We have a feeding station. Sometimes we put corn or other stuff down for the deer primarily. We don't want to feed the raccoons. There's a salt lick for the deer. We're coming up on where the skunk den is. The den's still there. Skunks are long gone. We had them here for about 2.5 months. Haven't seen them. They've been gone for over a month now. Last time I saw one was about 3 weeks ago. But it was fun coming down here every day and seeing the skunks, watching them grow. And we have a trail cam straight ahead there that still keeps an eye on this area to see if anything goes in the den or walks the path. We have a coyote that's been coming through here daily, so I'm trying to get some good video of him. We've seen him both in the daytime and at night. Cherish! Come! Got burrs all over her face now. This is where we normally cross the creek in the summertime. Just a few stepping stones. But we do have a bridge that I made for the wintertime, or when it's raining heavy and the creek is too high to walk across. So we just walk across this bridge. This is another fishing area for the heron. And you can see there's a trail cam right there. It keeps an eye on this portion of the trail. This bridge comes back around the other side of the creek here, and it dumps you into the sitting area. I built these benches, brought them down. We have a fire pit, and I cut that bench out of some logs. Everything used on this trail is all fallen timber. I didn't cut down any trees for anything that was used on this trail. And I just put up some tiki torches, keep the mosquitoes away, give a little light sitting down here in the evening. This little stretch is called Myrtle Lane. It's because of a big patch of myrtle to the right. There's a lot of fern over there now. It only shows up in the summertime. Covers the myrtle, but the myrtle is there. In the wintertime, it's a whole patch of myrtle. And you can see some of the myrtle here. Big yellow birch tree there. It's a yellow birch tree right in front of us too. Now we're back on the other side of the creek. a little sitting area. It's nice, peaceful here. And this we call the Gorge Loop extension. Takes us over to another portion of the trail. This is the original path that took us down to this portion of the trail, but in the wintertime it's a little rough to navigate. So could really only be used in the summer. So we have this other nice path to get here. So this is the Gorge Loop. There's another feeding station. And now we're heading to the northernmost portion of our property. Right in between those two trees that have the ribbon, that's where the pin is. The northeast corner pin of our property. This is why we call it the Gorge Loop, because of this big hill. It's not really a gorge, but it gives you the feeling of being in a gorge, walking next to it. A lot of water washes down the hill, and this is the main wash here, so I built a bridge over it. So again, we don't have to walk through the mud. That was a very muddy area. I packed all those rocks along that wall just to try to curb some of the erosion. Then this is the rest of the Creekside Pass. We named the different portions of the trail, so when we're talking about the trail or referring to a certain area, we know what we're talking about, where we're talking. This is Beech Hill. A lot of beech roots in the path. It's lined with beech trees. And up on the top of this hill, we have a lot of elm trees. These are all elm trees. And this is Overlook Circle. We used to call it Vine Loop because of all the vines. Cut them down. They kill the trees. This is the path that goes down to the gorge. And now we're at the top, the highest portion of our property. You can see that's where we just were. It's the Gorge Loop Trail. And again, this is the north side of our property. The property line is near here, about 10 feet from this neighbor's machines. And this trail takes us back to where we started. That's it for now. That's what it looks like in the summertime. If you made it this far as watching the video, thanks. I know it's boring as heck, but we love coming down here, walking the trail, and get a little exercise at the same time. Bye for now.